Ken Rideout, joined by the former champ, Regis Prograis. Regis, thanks for doing this.
No problem, no problem. We are rewatching my fight with Josh Taylor. This is actually my first time watching the fight, so I watched a few highlights and stuff like that, but this is my first time actually gonna watch the whole fight. So I think this will be kind of interesting for me.
And for those who may not know, Regis and I have been friends for a little while, so watching this fight from LA, the fight was in London. This was a tough one to watch because I so desperately wanted to see you win this fight, and yeah, man,
Yeah.
that was a tough one. This was it was a hell of a fight too. I mean, definitely. I thought after watching it was easily a candidate for fight of the year. Neither guy wanted to give an inch here. It was nip and tuck early on, and there was some fluctuations in the fight that we'll get into as we get rolling here. But coming into the fight, what was the game plan and what were you expecting?
Oh man, you know what? Like coming into the fight, it was a game plan to go out there and box, but the thing is, I talked to my friend the other day about it, and it was just like I want to hurt Josh Taylor. I'm not gonna lie. Like I really want to go out there, and that's why you can see I really made it a war, and I really just want to go out there and like I think for me it was a little personal, because we saw each other for a long time leading up to the fight. I was in London for 3 weeks, and I did a lot of media, and I saw him a lot of times, and it was just like I don't know. It felt kind of personal, and I just wanted to go out there and basically fight him and try to hurt him, and I think sometimes it played to my advantage and sometimes it didn't. So, but the game plan, of course, was just to go out there and beat me and be slick, defensive, unorthodox, and do all those things. But I think that once we'll definitely once we see the action starts, we'll see how it kind of played out. But once he started bringing the fight to me, I liked it, and it was just like, all right, that's what we gonna do. We gonna do this for 12 rounds. All right, let's do it. But I mean, you just looking at the atmosphere right now, man. It was over 20,000 people there, and I was going back to that night. It was just, it was still, even though I came out on the other side of it, it still was a special night for me because I always wanted to go to London. I always wanted to fight over there in the UK. The fans was terrific, and I definitely want to go back over there again.
Yeah, how would you rate the experience and the fight experience over there versus fighting in the U.S.? I mean, this was definitely your biggest fight, so the fight itself was the biggest fight that you've had. Finals of the World's Boxing Super Series. All the titles are on the line. The Ring Magazine belt was on the line. So it's hard. I know it could be hard to compare UK versus US because this fight was so big. It would have been big anywhere. But just in general, what did you think of the UK fight experience versus fighting in the US?
I mean, it was terrific. Like I said, it was over 20,000 people there, and in most arenas, most fighters these days, period, they can't do that. They can't draw that many people. So for me to do that in my 25th fight, it was amazing, and I wouldn't, like I said, even though I came out with the loss. I wouldn't take it back because I love that experience. I always want to go there, and this is my personal history. So it was, like I said, it was a great fight.
During this lead up before the fight starts, like, what's your mindset here? Like, what are the nerves like? I know everyone likes to say they're not nervous, they're not afraid, but was there anything in particular you were thinking about? Was there anything you were concerned about?
Oh, you definitely would be nervous. The main thing, even before I went over there, and signed the fight, I just the main thing I didn't want to do, and I heard you and Teddy touch on is that I didn't want to get robbed of a decision over there in the UK. That was like the main thing. But I can't say I felt like that happened anyway. I just didn't want to, of course, it was definitely some nerves. But once those punches start flying, the nerves kind of go out the window.
Yeah. With the fight being in the UK and Josh being such a big star over there, I had joked with Teddy Atlas, who I host a podcast with called The Fight with Teddy Atlas. I had said, if Regis knocks him out, he'd probably get away with a split decision over there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and that's like I said, a lot of people thought that too. A lot of people was like, man, you can't go over there and fight, man. You're not gonna get this decision, you know. But I don't think it didn't play out like that, you know. Luckily it didn't. I don't feel like I didn't feel like I got robbed. I still thought, you know, of course we were going to this after the fight, but I still thought I won, but I didn't feel like it was a close fight, and I feel like I didn't get robbed. You know, I can definitely say that.
Yeah, coming into the fight, he's obviously, you can see here that as you guys get as the fight gets underway, that he looks the bigger guy. Obviously, both of you weigh in at the same weight, but he looks physically bigger. He's taller,
Yeah,
he's longer.
for sure. Yeah, he was definitely taller, he was longer, he was bigger. And he actually, you know, he was strong too. He was definitely awesome, you know. So
Yeah, he impressed me. I thought you were going to get him out of there. I thought you would stop him. I really did. I just thought that your physicality and athleticism would be too much for him. But I was really impressed with Josh Taylor, I have to say. And needless to say, when I gave that opinion on our podcast, on the podcast with Teddy, the British fans did not like it, and they
yeah.
did not agree with me. So they were pretty happy when Josh
When
got the decision.
right, exactly, yeah. But
So
yeah, he was tough.
early on here, what were you expecting from him? Because I was expecting him being the bigger guy, the taller, longer guy, and Teddy Atlas talked about this extensively. That we expected him to either use the length, stay on the outside, pot shot you coming in, or to use that bigger physical frame to get inside and really work the body. And he eventually ends up doing that. But what were you seeing here versus what you were expecting?
I mean, I think the first round kind of went how I expected it. You know, I was keeping him outside, boxing him. When I'm on the outside, it's not many people that can touch me. So you know, he didn't land too many punches on the outside. When he came in, just like that, I hit him in the body. I hit him hard in the body. Um, you know, so that's kind of what I was expecting. The main thing I'm looking at, you know, even now in what I'm working on is, you know, I keep my right hand down, and you know, I shouldn't have. You know, if you look at my defense and look at his defense, you know, right now he does have his right hand down also, but you know, now it's up. Um, you know, but that's something that I definitely could have worked on, especially later in the fight. But every time, you know, see when he comes in, I just want to break him down to the body. See, right there, you know, he caught me bang with I think that was left. Look, right there, my hand is down.
Yep. One of the things that Teddy Ellis talked about was that he expected you to use your legs and athleticism earlier here, and you were just like right there for him and bringing the fight to him, almost like inviting a really tough fight, which isn't necessarily your strength
Exactly.
per se.
Right,
Like, I think you could have, like, you see when you're on the outside there and using the legs, you're sticking him with the jab, and it looks, you can see the athleticism. And these early rounds, I thought were really nip and tuck. I mean, these were tough rounds. You guys were both there, both available to be hit and to do the hitting. But yeah, this fight was, man, it was such an entertaining fight. So right there, I mean, these early rounds, feeling out rounds, but they're, from a judge's perspective, these ones could go either way.
That round definitely could have went either way, you know. And I can even admit that the first round definitely could have went either way.
Like you said, when you were, the game plan coming in was to box and use that athleticism. What's your trainer talking to you about in between rounds here?
I really actually I forgot, you know. I think he was like just move around. I think move my legs, same thing like you and Teddy was talking about, you know, move around, you know, don't let him hit you. My trainer, that's one thing Bobby always stressed to me. I don't need to get hit, I don't have to get hit. So why get hit if you don't have to? You know I do have a chin, I have a strong chin and a strong base, and not too many punches hurt me, but why get hit if you need to? And I think that's what Bobby was telling me.
And how long were you over in London for the camp prior to the
I
fight?
was on 3 weeks. I ended up staying for like a month. I stayed like a week after the fight, but yeah, I was in London for about 3 weeks.
And safe to say you won't be moving to London anytime soon.
No. I actually, you know, the thing about that, you know, I want to. When I first got there, I was excited about training camp for the first couple of days, but then after that, I was just like, I'm definitely, I don't want to be here. And but hey, you know, I had to stay. It was business.
interesting thing about the timing there is I was in Philadelphia with Teddy Atlas training Alex Vosdick for his unification fight against Artur Beterbiev, a fight we eventually lost, and you were in London at the same time, so we were commiserating during that month lead up to your fight. Your fight was a week after ours, and just talking about how difficult it is being in camp. We were in Philadelphia for 8 weeks. I didn't see my wife and kids for 8 weeks, and it was man, it was tough. But back to the action here, you guys. Like I said, these early rounds were really good battles. I mean, you guys were both right there, neither man giving an inch, nip and tuck back and forth. You both look like you're trying to like impose your will on the other. Like, what's going through your mind here? Are you like looking for signs? Are you getting signals from him that you're getting to him?
Nah, it's just just trying to catch him in between his shots. I think yeah, that's the main thing, trying to catch him in between. Right there, I was you as you can see, his right side is real red, so I was catching with a lot of body shots. And I think that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to break him down a little bit. I wasn't really worried about the face too much. He had a real high guard. He had a good high guard, so I was worried about look right there. It was a triple hook, but I was right there again. You can see that right side is just is red on him.
Yep.
So I was just trying to break him down.
What's interesting about him is because of the size, like I said, he has some options that you didn't necessarily have with that height and length. He had the option of working from the outside and trying to pot shot you, pick you off coming in, coming out. He also, because he's so big, has the ability to get in there. And I was surprised that he chose to stay right inside with you early because, to me, the athleticism and the awkwardness that you can present him looked like it might cause him problems. But I was really surprised by his toughness.
Yeah, he was tough, man. That's one thing I definitely take my hat off to him. He was tough because usually when I hit somebody with a clean shot, they're gone. And I hit him, and we saw his eye, but Scottish, and he's a warrior. Everybody know the Scottish people are definitely warriors. They never go down without a fight. And he was definitely tough than I thought, for sure.
You guys are both doing good work here, both of you. I mean, his hand speed is impressive.
Yeah.
But you touched him a few times there right before the bell, and he came right back answering with good hand speed. How was the power on his punches? Because he was landing punches, but it didn't seem to be phasing you there.
Nah, I mean, don't get me wrong, and I want to tell people, he hit hard. He had he was strong, but it just, he just like never hurt me. That's the thing, look at Pete, the bird. But, he hit me hard and stuff like that, but it just never hurt me out. Like I said, maybe it's the adrenaline, my chin, I don't know, whatever it is, but
I just was taking some of the action. You can see him lunging him with that right hook. Like I said, both guys were landing some good shots here. Both of you were getting some good licks in there. But you still look fresh there. How'd your cardio feel in this fight in hindsight? Like, if you could go back and do it again, would you do more cardio? Do you think it was like a confidence thing?
I think, what? I think one round, it was a confidence thing. I fell asleep in the fight. I know what I did. And I'll get to it when the rounds start coming up. I'll get to it. But and I think he had one big round. Like he beat out of me for one round, and then after that round, I came back real strong, because my coach was like, man, what you doing? You all right? When my coach Bobby, he said that, I was like, that's what it looked like. It looked like I'm hurt. And I'm never hurt in a fight, but I guess that's what it looked like. He was just like, man, are you all right? I'm like, what? Of course I'm all right,
Who would have known that are you all right would have been the biggest weight?
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was, I remember, I forgot which round it was. Maybe it was the 7th, 8th round or something like that. But, I know he hit me with a lot of shots, and he with a big shot before the bell. And, I went back to my corner, and Bobby was like, are you all right? You okay? And I'm like, what? That's what it seemed like. It seemed like I'm hurt. Like, I'm not hurt, but I definitely fell asleep in the fight a little bit.
Right there was a moment where I feel like that's when you're doing your best work, when your hands are loose and you got that confident swagger going, almost a little bit like Floyd with that like head behind your shoulder and like right there, you're moving confident. That's when, to me, you look like you're at your best.
Good uppercut right there. But, he was tough. He came back.
Oh, he was definitely there all night. I mean, you could see his face after the fight. He was definitely in a fight. I mean, both of you guys gave an awesome account of yourselves. And you were saying it was personal in the lead up to the fight. I thought that the sportsmanship in this fight was excellent.
Yeah, of course. After the fight, we all warriors. We all respect each other. But of course, like when we going to fight, I definitely, I felt like it was a little personal. And one thing, leading up to the fight in the press conference, I think it was the press conference right before, I think it was Thursday, right before the weigh-ins, he actually touched my belts. And while it was on my shoulder, and I didn't like that. So I was like, all right, we gonna fight. We gonna have to fight. We gotta fight because of this.
Well, that's the good thing about boxing is after you're done talking all the you have to get in the ring and back it up.
All right, exactly.
I just watched that Michael Jordan documentary, and one of the things he was saying is that he was like literally making up grievances to hold against his opponents, and that's what that reminded me of when you said he touched your belt, almost like you were looking for an excuse to get angry at him.
Right, exactly.
I'm with you though. I wouldn't want anyone touching the belts too. And when Anthony Joshua let Andy Ruiz hold his heavyweight title belts before Ruiz upset him, I was like, oh.
That was a big punch. Now I thought I won that round, but that last punch could have definitely changed, because sometimes that last punch would,
steal the round.
It persuaded the judges.
Let's see if we catch a replay of that punch. Both guys doing good body work here.
Yeah, there's a lot of digging. Hit him with a good uppercut right there.
I gotta say again, I was impressed with his toughness. I mean, you hit him with some bombs.
Yeah, he took it, man. He was tough, man. He was definitely tough.
To your point about the sportsmanship, I was impressed after the fight at how much professionalism and goodwill you guys displayed towards each other. It was refreshing to see two guys like ready to kill each other and then go out there and try to kill each other.
That's boxing, man. That's why we love the sport. Now, this is the round that changed everything right here. The fourth round. The first 3 rounds, it was like I was boxing, but then he stepped it up. I remember he stepped up in the fourth round. He was like, put his hands up, step to me. And then that's when I was like, all right, this is what we're doing. All right, let's do it, man. See, now I'm coming forward my jab, and he's same thing with him. Every time he gets on the outside, he'll come right back in. Good battle of the jabs there, but Taylor's come out this round. And same thing. When I get on the outside, I try to pump back in.
He's just trying to move out the way. That jab.
When he starts picking up the pace, how confident are you in your own cardio that you
I'm definitely good. Cardio wise, I'm always gonna be in shape. I got a lot of endurance. I'm making him miss a lot, but still he's catching me, because he's throwing combinations. What happened?
Mouthpiece.
Oh, that was my mouthpiece. My mouthpiece. I'm like, what happened? My mouthpiece came out.
Yeah, it looks
great fight. So well evenly matched, Ed. They really are. That was a good left.
And you know what? When something like that happens, that's a confidence booster for the other person. Because it'll show, he probably thought I was tired,
Yeah.
That's a confidence booster for him, But that's why, and when that did happen, that's why I came right back out again. Like, all right, I'm not tired. My piece came out, but I'm not tired.
One thing I'll say for Taylor is that he did a lot of things right when he got on the inside, and Teddy Atlas pointed out a lot of these things. When he got on the inside, he kept his head on the side. When he was throwing to the body, he always kept good defense.
And two southpaws who, despite the physical dissimilarities between the two, similar in style, aren't they, with the right jab and the way they crunch those lefts in around to the body.
I'd like to see Taylor poking that jab out. Keep throwing the jab. He's got a lovely jab, he really does. It sets everything
This
up.
fight just seemed to be like non-stop action the entire night.
Yeah,
There's very few lulls in the action.
Sure.
As that's going on, are you thinking like, geez, is this guy going to take a deep breath here? Or are you thinking like, good, let's keep going when he gets tired?
I thought I was like, man, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Somebody's gonna get tired eventually, and I didn't think it was gonna be me, So
Your style there with that lead hand down like that gives the impression like, I'm good, I can fight like this all night. And his style of hands up, you know, very conventional style, makes it look like, oh, maybe if one guy was going to get tired, you would think that the guy who looks like he's a little more tense might be the guy who runs out of gas, but
Right.
he kept that pace up all
He
night.
definitely kept the pace up. He caught me with a good left hand right there.
Uses that reach advantage in that as well.
Again, I'm surprised by his hand speed. Look fast. Could you sense that speed in there?
Not really. I mean, I had very fast spawn partners, so it wasn't his speed didn't bother me or nothing like that. A lot of shots, I think he never hurt me because I saw a lot of shots. You see,
Yeah.
see, you know, these are very close rounds. You know,
Very close.
These are very close rounds. You can score. You know, these rounds you can score for either person.
For sure.
Almost every
I was
single
waiting for a moment there in the fourth. You said there was a moment where you sensed that he was like starting to pick up the pace.
Well, he came out like that, but yeah, I just like when he stepped. That's what I'm saying. I remember personally. I remember, you know, he stepped it up, and I was just like, I thought in my mind, I was like, all right, that's what we gonna do. Like, let's go then. You know, let's go, because he came out with his hands real high, and he just stepped straight to me. And I knew, you know, he didn't want to bite. Like now he's on his feet a little bit, and I started to press him. You see right there, he's on his toes, and I'm pressing him. But I remember that's how he came out.
There's a good look. There's a good shot to the solar plexus.
You know, he was tough, man. The most people, they're gonna fall from that.
Yeah.
A solar plex shot like that, most people, they're gonna fall from it. You know, he was tough.
Did you ever feel like you were hurting him to the body?
I definitely felt like I was hurting him in the body. The thing is, in the first, you know, same thing in the fifth round, he came out, hands up high, and, you know, stepping to me. And it wasn't too much boxing, you know. There was a lot of fighting in there. You see, now I'm the aggressor, and, you know, he's moving, he's trying to box, and that's when, this is the moment right here. I should have really stepped it up. I should have really pressed, because he wants to get.
You think he's taking a break here?
Yeah, he wants to take a break. He wants to get on his toes. He wants to box around. And that's when I should have really just pressed real hard. Because I made him miss a lot. You see, even all those punches, most of them missed.
Yeah.
But, you know, of course, you don't know how the judges score that. And then I counted him with the left hand. See, he wants to get on his toes right now. So, you know, he wants to move around. He wants to move around.
So when you see him doing that, trying to catch a break here, why do you remember, like, what during the fight, why didn't you jump on him? What was going through your mind? Like, why were you letting him off the hook there to catch him? Why were you letting him catch him?
Man. You know, when you're in a fight, it's always hard to do in a fight. You gotta say it in time. You know, but he's off his toes now. He's back. He's back to his base. He's planted. You know, he wants to fight, and now I'm boxing. Yeah, now I'm trying to box. Now, you know, it's an ebb and flow. You know, because it's two high level guys at the top of their game. So, you know, it's always gonna be the ebb and flow. And now I'm boxing. He wants to step forward.
Yeah. It's such an interesting chess match, this fight in particular, because there's so many ebbs and flows here. Like I said, nip and tuck back and forth. He's having moments, you're having moments. And again, watching this as a friend, I'm like, all right, you know, I want to give you every round, but I'm thinking to myself, all right, let's be realistic.
Yeah, you know, you got to be realistic, you know. Right. Now I hit him with good uppercut, good body shot. You know, he hit me with a good body shot right there. And same thing, trading jabs, making the miss.
That's good head movement from you right there.
Yeah, making the miss. Now he caught me with that. That was a big hook he caught me with, a big lead hook.
Regis Prograis returns fire, shows he can do that skill as
I forget, what kind of damage did you have during this fight? During the fight, do you remember any damage? Were you cut it off?
I had a few cuts over my eye. Yeah, definitely had a few cuts over my eye.
That's nice head movement right there.
Yeah. I'm making the miss.
He's definitely not hard to find.
Nah, he's right there. Now, see, he's coming forward now. Now he come with a big shot. That was a big shot. I just shook it off.
Did he hit you with anything that really got your attention, that really buzzed you, had your ears ringing?
Not really. Look, he hit me after the round. Bobby upset. Look, hit me after the round.
That was you. You can tell from his reaction though. That was like
He made a mistake. Yeah, he made a mistake. He definitely made a mistake.
You can tell right away though. You give him that look like, yo, and he's like, I'm sorry, fair play. Fair play, as they say in England.
Good work from both guys though. The head's coming close.
Slow look at the action, trading some body shots. Did he hit you with any body shots that made you like, gave you pause and thought like, oh, he got me there?
Nah, I mean, I seen him coming. I mean, believe me, they, like I said, they hurt, you know, but it wasn't like, oh, like, damn, do I need to step back? Do I need to, no, it wasn't nothing like that. You know, same thing I felt like with him, and I was hitting him with some good body shots, but it wasn't nothing to where, you know, it'll change the fight to where you feel like, uh-oh, I hurt him, you know.
Yep.
And I think, you know, in exchanges, it's very hard to split them. I think one of them could really.
I think right there you can sense that sportsmanship and that mutual respect.
Right, of course,
like,
yeah.
Let's do this.
Background, Regis Prograis did take part in karate as a youngster.
Like, I thought you guys did a good job promoting the fight. It was all respectful, but there was definitely some bad blood, but not personal. From an outsider looking in, that's how it felt.
I think it just, I told you, like I said, I think it just got personal when he touched my belts. That's so I'm like, all right, don't touch my belts. And at the you know, at the press conference, I was like, you know, I was a little, I thought about it after, like, oh, why did I let this dude touch my belts? I'm tripping.
That's what I like about you, though. Like, you're creating a narrative. Like, who gives a if he touched your belts? But for you, you're like, yeah, you know what? I need any kind of motivation I can get.
I see him walking down. Now, right here, I should have pressed him hard. You see, he under the really pressed him hard.
Yep.
Because it looked like he's trying to take a break. He's trying to take a break.
It almost looks like you were too concerned that he was setting a trap.
You know, I think he was. He definitely was. He was taking a break, but he was trying to set a trap too at the same time.
Yep. That's interesting that you have him on the ropes. You want to show patience. You don't want to rush him. But like you said, you don't want to let him off the hook either if he is trying to take a break. So kind of like proceed with caution. But to your point, I think you might have given him a beat too long there.
Yeah, I should have pressed him a little bit.
It'll be interesting to hear his perspective on the fight. Not that
I think me and him need to sit together and do it one day. We might start a fight with each other in the thing.
Nah, there's no two nicer guys in the sport.
Well, we gonna have to do a rematch eventually. One day we have to do a rematch. So, you know, but me and him can sit. Yeah, we'll sit down and talk about it.
You guys spent some time after the fight together, right?
I saw him in the hotel. He texted me on my he DM'd me on Instagram. Was like, yeah, I'm down here and stuff. And I went down there, and we was all, you know, we was on the same hotel anyway. So I went down there, talked to him and his girlfriend and stuff. And, everything was cool.
Yep. And that's the way it should be, right? At the end of the day, it's a sport.
Yeah, it's a sport. Definitely, yeah.
Two good representatives in this fight was you couldn't have put a better fight forward for representation of boxing in the state of boxing right now. American versus a Brit in UK. So we were in the 6th round.
Yeah.
Like I said, so far it's been dead even. You could make a case for either guy in every round.
Yeah, it was close, man. Everything. It was a close fight for sure.
But I think these the coming rounds start to like tell a story of the fight here. We'll get to it, but so you're halfway through. Is in between rounds? Is Bobby telling you like, yo, I think we're ahead, I think we're down?
Nah, he's telling me, man, it's close, man. You gotta step it up. They was telling me, you know, use my legs. That's the main thing I remember Bobby telling me. He was like, man, you gotta move your legs, you know.
And that was one of the themes that Teddy Atlas talked about in the lead up to this fight. He was saying Regis has some of the best legs in boxing. If he uses the legs and moves around and stays with his style, it's going to be a very close fight. Teddy did think that Josh Taylor would eke out a decision, which is, basically what happened. But I thought that I thought you'd stop him. I thought those legs and the athleticism would be too much for him. But it was.
It's something I didn't use. You know, I didn't use my full arsenal. You know, that's one thing I didn't use. I didn't use my full arsenal.
associated.
Yeah, and you and I had spoken about this before, but in boxing, there's like this stigma with one loss. But when you look at a sport like MMA, the best guys in the world might have 5 losses, but they're
Right, of
still
course.
feared. And the best boxers in the world have losses, with the exception of Floyd and Rocky Marciano. All the greats have a
All the
loss.
greats, all my idols have losses, man. Losses just make, for me, a loss will make you better. It depends. It depends what you do with it. Now, I felt like he came out that round, he wanted to come out big. But I'm still moving, slick hair movement, moving my body.
Looked like he landed a big left right to the side or behind your ear there.
Yeah. Still walking him down. Look, trying to walk him down, trying to throw body shots.
Headbutt.
He says headbutt, I guess.
Right there, that little shuffle that you do right there was like, tells me like, okay, he feels good. Is there a sense of you doing that, trying to send a signal to the other guy? Like,
yeah, I
this
just,
is just a walk in the
you
park.
can see my energy. My energy is high. So, I just I want to show him, I'm not tired. Look, I feel, I don't know. I think I came out in that 7. It looked like that 7 run. I came out refreshed.
Yep. He scored early there, but it looks like you're up on your toes.
Yeah, I came up. I'm on my toes. I feel fresh. I look stronger.
Good job right there. To his credit, this kid was busy all night, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, he was
punches.
He a machine, man. I heard his people before the fight, people was sexy. It was in my DMs, man. Josh is a machine. Are you a machine? I'm like, yeah, I'm a machine too. You gonna see.
That's what I love about you. You're so approachable. Like, what the hell do you care about Josh Taylor's fans approaching you in your DM?
And like, man, he's a machine, man. He's a machine. Are you one? Like, all right, you gonna see. I'm definitely a machine also. You gonna see.
Peanut gallery. That's one of the things that I like about you that I think most boxing fans don't realize. I call you the curious George of boxing. The most intellectually curious guy I know. For people who don't know, this guy is interested in everything. If he's not in a boxing gym, he's spearfishing. Looks like he hit you with a quick left behind the ear there, stumbled, not staggered like you were hurt, but caught you off balance.
I think this is probably his big round. Well, it's still ebb and flow. It's still a lot of back and forth going on.
Some solidity in this round because it seems like Taylor is just sharp.
So right up to this point, you still look like you're using that same style, coming forward.
And that was a characteristic of Regis Prograis against Kilwell Relic in the last fight, that he would not let his man go. He would chase him into the corner if need be, and he gets that Josh Taylor there. But now they're exchanging.
I like this working close. You get good head movement, bobbing and weaving. Neither guy taking a step back.
Yeah. That was a good close round, man. It was a lot of good close rounds.
For me and for Teddy Atlas, this upcoming round, I believe, is where the fight starts to change a little bit. All right, now, coming into this 8th round, do you remember, and you and I had spoken about this, do you remember consciously thinking, like, I got to use my legs more? Is Bobby telling you to use your legs more? Because
they all told me, man. Yeah, they was telling me, but like I said, I remember falling asleep in the fight for a little while. It was just something, I don't know what happened. It's just something, sometimes you can't explain it. It was just like it's like subconsciously you're just doing stuff, you don't even know what you're doing. It's just happening basically without even thinking about it.
Right hook right there.
Yeah, he caught me with a good right hook right there.
I gotta tell you, that's a hell of a beard. Like, you walked right through that punch. That was probably would have put a lot of people on their backside. So round 8 starts here. See if we can notice a point where you start to
it looked like, right now it looked like I'm back on my toes. Moving around, using my legs a little bit. Yeah, it looked like he wants to come forward, and I'm just using my feet, using my footwork. Throw some combinations at him.
And one of the things that, when Teddy and I broke the fight down, one of the things Teddy pointed out, he's obviously a much more competent analyst than I am, and he pointed out that if there was a moment in the fight where he thought there was a signal from Josh, and you could tell me if you agree or disagree, he said it looked like in the 8th round right here that you let off the gas a little, almost looking for a break, whether you were or you weren't. And to your point, maybe fell asleep, just checked out a little bit, weren't mentally like dialed in, kind of let your mind drift a little. And he said that when Taylor sees this, he
Yeah,
now
he
starts to
steps it
pick up the
up, of
pace. You're
course.
giving him the confidence, and this is like basically the story of the fight for me and for Teddy is like eight, call it 8 through 10 until the 11th round. It's almost like he's coming forward. You're back on this, like you're not using that same blue collar style you were using, which was nip and tuck. Granted, it was pretty even, but here it looks like from an outsider you're taking a break.
Yeah, and I think that's what I was doing also. Just stay on the outside. I don't have to fight him right now on the inside, and that's what he wanted to do. So you can see the fight changes. I want to stay on the outside. I want to box him, and he wants to walk me down. And just like like Teddy said, it probably was that signal for him. All right, he's trying to take a break. Let's step it up. And yeah, I think that's exactly what's happening.
And we talked about this before, but do you think it was? Do you think it was like this is such a tough fight in your mind? Maybe you're thinking, man, am I gonna have the gas tank to go this whole 12 rounds like this? This is a furious pace. Maybe let me just catch a breather, take a round to catch my breath. And he's like, oh, I got him on the ropes, and now he's coming forward. Was there a moment when you were thinking like, oh man, I got?
Look, that's that's a big round. He's trying to walk me down. I think, but nah, I don't, I can't say that because, like it was like a breathing thing. It was just like my trainers told me get on my feet. They told me get on my toes and move, and that's what I was doing. Did I hit him or he hit me or what? I heard him say big something from Prograis, but I saw him punching me.
Yeah, it looked like he hit you with a decent combination here. What round was it that his eyes started to get touched up?
I don't know, man. I think probably. I mean, it's getting there right now, but it's not. It definitely wasn't like the last round.
Because
See, now that was a, that could have. I would have scored that round actually for him. I definitely would have scored that 8th round for him for sure.
This to me is where the fight starts to get interesting because the way Teddy described it, it's almost like a dog and a cat. Teddy would say, the cat's always going to give a good account of himself,
right? But he's still
scratch the out of the dog. But the dog eventually is
that was for me.
You caught him coming in with a beautiful shot there. Once again, both of you guys are just walking through these shots.
Boom!
Wow. Talk about beating him to the punch. Oh, but back to my analogy of the dog and the cat, it almost looks like here, the dog, the dog's eventually going to get the cat.
Right.
And it looks like he's the dog right now, and the cat is kind of like on his toes. And I don't mean that as an insult, because as we'll see later in the fight, the dog comes back. But here is when watching the fight here in LA with our friend Peter, I'm talking to him and I'm like, oh man, I don't know. I feel like the tide is starting to shift. I don't know if Regis getting tired or this kid's just too strong. Right here, you can see him kind of imposing his will. As you're watching it, do you remember this moment in the fight and thinking like, man, come on, like what is? Were you questioning the cardio? Like what's going through your mind?
Yeah, of course you're gonna be tired. You definitely, once you fight that type of pace, you're gonna be a little tired, of course. But I wasn't questioning my cardio. But he caught his second or third win. Right there. He picked it up a lot right there.
To be honest, knowing that you went through this lull, and we'll see this play out in coming rounds, but does it give you confidence for a rematch? That
for sure.
Okay, I should not have taken that round off, or I shouldn't have let off the gas there.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely got it. I can't wait. Not even just a rematch with him, just for my next fight period. This was definitely one of my hardest fights, and to know I can go through that and keep a pace up like that for 12 rounds, it definitely gives me confidence. Because we had a hard pace from the opening bell. It was a hard fight, and from round one it was a hard fight. So I definitely have confidence.
Even as he's coming forward and pressing the action, you're still touching him with that jab and still doing good work in spots. But his pace is constant. Man, what a good fight.
So Regis Prograis with the volume argument this round, but again, some really clean shots coming from.
You hardly even know the ref is there. Aside from picking
Right.
up the mouthpiece, I couldn't tell you who the ref was. So you caught him there.
Yeah, I caught him.
See
Quick
him
left
holding?
hand. Just a quick left hand.
Yeah, but he immediately
Now he
jumped.
comes right back. You know?
Taylor looking to lean on the smaller man and unleash the big punch as the left came in.
This is good work here.
Both exchanging body shots on the left and a right. Right now, we wonder
It's
how
like he
much
caught you with a
more
good
both
shot
ways
on
to
the
take
ear
this
there.
Close quarters.
This is better from Taylor. Getting closer.
And every time, what I try to do, every time he hit me with that hook, I try to bring a left hand under. See right there, left hand, bring a hook back.
Taylor seems to get his shots inside of Prograis.
But I think this was his big round, you know.
Yep.
But it looks like, I feel like that, I felt like that, but still, it's still going back and forth. You know, I mean, like I said, man, everything, it was definitely a close fight.
I thought it was close at the time, but watching it back now, I haven't watched it since the original fight either. And this thing is so much closer than I remember.
Yeah, it's real close, man. It's super close fight.
How much sparring were you doing leading up to this, and who'd you have in camp?
I had Taras. He's a good bro. He's actually from about here. Excuse me. I was sparring him most of the time, and I sparred with Ammo Williams. Big middleweight.
You brought them over to UK with you?
Brought him over to the UK, right?
I saw Ammo Williams just posted a video of him.
Yeah, everybody got mad at him for that.
Yeah,
he got a lot of backlash from that. You know?
deservedly so.
Yeah, I told him, you know, he a young kid, man. You know, he's a young kid.
Man, there's some of that good action inside, man. Your face is starting to tell the story of a tough fight.
Let's see. Big hooks. See, now the eyes starting to close now.
That eye starting.
And you just, you know, like you just wish you can see this inside the fight, because
Yes.
that face was a doubt. You know, like you looking at his face and it's just like I can tell it's some doubt. You know, like I gotta really pick it up.
Yep.
So these the last 3 rounds, championship rounds right here.
In front, some have it the other way.
So is there any urgency in the corner in between 9 and 10? What's Bobby saying?
I think just keep doing what I was doing right there, because I was, you know, I'm on my toes. You know, on my toes, moving around, popping my jab out, pop. Because I know if he comes in, you know, I can definitely catch him. See moving, and he caught me with a few little jabs. That was a good shot. That was a good shot.
It's a Mickey Ward.
Yeah, that was a good shot right there. But still on the outside, popping from the outside, moving, with those jabs. Same thing, we trading jabs.
You can really see his length there when he was.
Yeah, of course, you see how long his arms are.
It looked just like in that exchange of jabs, though, there was just a little bit more on his, and he had like that distance, and like you guys are at the same distance. His jab just had a little more length on his.
Right.
Regis Prograis wants to box the distance from the two.
But like I said, neither one of you are giving an inch. I mean, this is as good as it gets for me.
The Prograis had the bigger power of the two, but yet to see that in this fight so far with Josh Taylor landing some
There's
heavy shots.
rare instructions from the ref.
Seems to be dabbing at his eye. Is there a cut to Prograis?
Could be, or it could be the blood.
In your mind, are you aware, like, okay, man, this is close? Like,
Of course,
we gotta-
you
we gotta
definitely,
get it
I
going.
definitely thought it was a close, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you know, in your mind, you know, you fighting, so you getting hit too, you know. So I know, it was, I definitely knew it was a close fight.
When you're watching this now, is there anything that you're seeing that you can pick up for the next fight? You don't have to.
Of course, I mean, it's not even about strategy. It's just about like, look at my right hand, man. My right hand is down. You know, I don't have to. And that's a lot of points right there. You know, from the right hand, that left hand or the hook or even a jab from just my right hand being down. Look, right over the top, he caught me because my right hand is down from left hand. And look, his hands are up, you know, so.
In this, I would think your right hand is down by design. You think in hindsight, you would have kept it up the whole time?
I mean, that's kind of how I sparred, you know, like looking at the fight, you know, this is how I sparred the whole camp, you know, it was just like, I sparred just like this, you know, so, look, now, this is, you know, I think, he caught me with some big punches this round,
Yeah.
I remember, and it looked look like I'm fading. It does. It seems like if I'm looking on the outside, it definitely look like I'm fading a little bit. And I probably was fading this 10th round.
For me, this was
Yeah.
the culmination of where he seemed to have you on the run.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
seemed to
All
be
right.
like taking over here, and this is
Yes.
when watching it, I'm like, man, come on, dude. Now I'm starting to think, all right, let's just get through the last thing. He's like, don't get stopped. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
that's how much that tide looked like it shifted 9 and 10. It wasn't dominating, but it's just the volume of punches.
Boom.
Was
That was
so
a
look
good
at that.
shot.
That's a beautiful punch.
Look at that. That's a real good punch.
It's like Mickey Ward will be proud of that one. I know he's watching. What's up, Mickey?
Just a pugnacious personality.
That's good.
I'm surprised I even took that. I ain't gonna lie. Damn, that was a hard shot. Looking at it like, God damn, that was a hard ass shot.
Now, what is okay? So here we go. Championships rounds 11 and 12. What's Bobby?
All right, Hollywood. My coach right there. He said, "Man, what are you doing? This is the round I woke. These last 2 rounds I woke up. You see, I'm pacing the ring, and it's like, all right, now let's get to it. Cause Hollywood, man, it's a lot. There's a lot of stuff on the line. Yep. He was telling me, man, it's a lot of hard work on the line. You got to step it up. And so this is, this when I stepped it up.
This is, even Teddy Atlas said the cat became the dog here, and you look like you were gonna get the dog and get the cat here and rip them apart. And we'll get into the decision in a minute, but to me, these are the key rounds here because one judge obviously had it a draw 14-14, 114-114. One guy had it 17-12, and one judge had it 15-13, giving the 12 to Taylor. And we'll see. We'll see what you think now watching it again.
So now I'm just energized. That the round before then, the 10th round. I think the 10th round was his big round. Now he's on his toes. He wants to take a break, and I'm coming. I'm coming to him.
It's almost like the horse can see the barn, and he's like, all right, there's only a little bit left to run. Let's finish up strong.
Right, time to go.
And that's why I was asking if you would maybe doubting your cardio with this constant pace.
I probably did. You know what? I probably did because I never did it before. I never did 12 rounds at a pace like that, a hellacious pace. So thinking about it now, that's probably exactly what I did.
And that's where you say, like, sometimes you get better from a loss. Like, I think that this is an example where how you conduct yourself in the coming fights will determine, like, was this the step that you needed? Maybe this was the loss you needed to get to the next level and take out.
I think so, too, for sure. I definitely think so. Look, you got around my neck.
And that was the first time where we've seen any kind of, like, questionable behavior. It looks like he's holding you down a little bit long there, but I think you can sense that pace is coming on. His eyes closing. But again, credit to Josh, man. The kid is there all night. Tough as hell.
Irrelevant for Taylor in the short term as he tries to see out the rest of this fight.
Oof, touched him with a nice uppercut there.
He came right back, hooks.
Powering through the blood in his eye and trying to...
He's getting a little chippy there. You see he's leaning on you. We trying to lean your head into him there.
Yeah, just get him off me. Like, get off. Show him I'm all right.
That was a big exchange right there. Guys both appeared to land at the same time. That eye is like a mess now.
The fatigue is there, but Taylor looks to come back and
They sent me the comp use box stats. I don't have them in front of them, but this got to be like close to like as high output as anyone's had in a 12-round fight.
Yeah, and the craziest thing is about the stats, it's crazy, but I outlanded them in everything. I outjabbed them, I outlanded them, I out everything. Somebody else sent me the stats, and it was like, and I think it is, close. Yeah.
I can see that the
you see now my confidence is.
You can see the posture at the end of the round there that you look like you would like won that round.
Yeah.
You look kind of like, thank God that round's over.
As you see, it was happened. I'm not sure if it was a flash ahead Dora's shot. Great action.
Because
this is the shot. Boom! You just beat him to the punch. Man.
He knows the first time in his professional career since 2012 debut that he is really in a fight now, establishing himself
coming into this last round, anything special from Bobby? I mean, he's got to be thinking like,
Man,
you know,
go,
we ain't
man.
gonna get a decision.
All I was just like, man, same thing, man, go. Step on it, you know, same thing. Shane is telling him, man, get to it, man, step on it. Look, I'm just like, all right. You see I'm pacing, you know, and that's to show him I ain't tired, I'm ready to go.
Yo.
Neither man can feel wholly confident. Perhaps it is in the bag on the scorecard, so they will have to produce conclusive evidence here, potentially. Perhaps knockout would get it. Josh Taylor throwing in the right hand, the left hand to the body.
I think this might be better. After watching the second time, I think it was better than it was the first time I watched it. You know, the first time you watch it live, it's very emotional. You know, I wanted you to win so bad.
Right.
Mainly because I wanted to come over and try on the ring. When I was watching it, I was telling the kids, my kids, they think the Ruguru is real. They're little. And they're saying, Dad, is he going to turn into Ruguru? I said, oh, watch the last round. He's going to turn into the werewolf. Ruguru is going to come out.
And now just walking him down. There you go. Walking him down.
See right there, that swagger you have?
Yeah.
That's when I was like, all right, man, he's going to do this.
Can take advantage of limited vision on Taylor's part.
Tremendous stuff. This really is high quality stuff.
Go to work now. Attempted uppercut from Josh Taylor with that left and a little bit ragged.
You can kind of see some of his technique is going out the window where it's just literally like a fist fight now.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely turned to a fist fight that last round.
Just a minute and 40 to go. Eden. This is tremendous.
I like your head movement and the shoulder rolls, like really slick.
Just come up, boom, right there.
Taylor corner, stop the blood,
that one.
which is a nightmare. Having the bloodstream drive. This is good work.
See, got him running.
He's on the run now.
Damn, I should have.
As we're watching this, keep in mind that one judge scored this round for him, which had the judge scored it correctly for you, would have had a majority draw. Who scored this round? Now keep that in mind. Let's see how the rest of the round plays out. But looking at this, I'd have a hard time saying Josh Taylor won this round.
Lands some heavy impacts and
Big last minute coming up there.
Josh Taylor not giving ground. He comes back and says that attack is the best form of defense. But left and a right from Josh Taylor.
He came back a little bit right there. Came back and saw him just stab him.
Steps out the way and shakes his head and
just stepped right back in his face.
Yeah.
Josh Taylor is crouching down.
He was leaning on that.
Yeah.
Get upright.
I think that little break that gave him definitely helped him more than it helped you. It's unfortunate that the action there. He was clearly leaning into his head down.
The cream of the crop, but who will rise to the top?
See, he's trying to hold on.
Been absolutely terrific watching this. Been fantastic.
He was back and forth, man.
I give him credit, man. He's keeping his hands busy.
Right there.
10 seconds.
He is fatigued a little bit. Josh Taylor, perhaps Regis Prograis.
If I had to pick, if you had to pick who you want to be at the end of this round,
that's a big hook.
Taylor though sees it through, and then he fights after the bell, and again
it's a good fight.
a little bit
That's a good fight.
which is a shame given the.
If you didn't already have one of the best nicknames in the game, we may have to change it to Regis All Day Prograis. That was as busy as you can be for a fight. Damn.
Both corners.
Well, as we've discussed, one judge had it 14-14, one had it 15-13, and one had it 17-12. Like I said, I have a hard time arguing with the decision for him winning a close decision, but him winning the 12th round, I can't agree with that. What do you think?
No, I mean, I agree. Like I still thought, like I said, it was a close fight. It was definitely a very, very close fight. But it was. I'm talking the crowd right now.
Like, get the fight you over there.
Yeah, they like me over there. I went. I was like, man, I won that fight. I won that fight. Talk the crowd.
Hell of a fight. Awesome, all action. What's next for you while we wait for the decision here? What do you got? What you got on tap?
Oh man,
I know you've been in the gym.
Been non-stop right now. Just waiting. I just ready to stay prepared. Just getting better. After this, I feel like I will be one of those fighters who's gonna turn a defeat into something great. Like I said, I've been in the gym, so right now excuse me, due to this coronavirus, everything is shut down right now. So look, see right there.
Here we got some of the action from the 12th round. Here's where you had him on the run. You know, credit to Taylor, he stayed in there. But I'm sorry, if you had to pick which guy you'd rather be in this round, I'd have a hard time finding. You'd have a hard time finding someone to honestly think that Josh won that round. Yeah, he did some good work, but overall, I thought you took it to him. Man, the fact that you took that shot and seemed to be unfazed and continued on is just, I mean, credit to both guys.
Before this, there is a version of WBC.
Good action, like I said, good sportsmanship after the fight.
Great fight. But yeah, we waiting. I was supposed to fight Maurice Hooker, I think April 17th. Of course, that was canceled due to the COVID-19. So right now, we just wait. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay in the gym, keep training, get better and better, and that's it. And hopefully, you know, we can get boxing started back again.
If Taylor gets Jose Ramirez next, who wins that fight?
You know, at first I said Taylor, but I think Ramirez will be. I don't know. I got Ramirez now. You know, because I don't know, some reason I just think Ramirez will be Taylor. You know, so.
Be interesting to see what happens here.
It'll be interesting.
It's a deep division. Any chance of moving up to 147?
Eventually, you know, I definitely would move up to 147 eventually. Right now, I just want it's something. I want my belt back at 140. I want the belts back at 140. Undisputed if it comes, of course. But I still want my belts back at 140, and then before I move up to 147, but I want the belts back at 140 right now.
Yeah, I feel like with your height, the 140 is the right division for you, but there's so many big names and big money fights at 147. If there's anyone that can get up there and get after it, it's the Rougarou.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be a champion at 147 also. Put on a little weight, get a little muscle to my legs and stuff, you know, but...
Here's the decision. Like I said, selfishly, I wanted you to win this so I could come over your house and check out the Ring Magazine belt.
Yeah.
Boxing Super Series trophy. And,
yeah.
Like I said, Josh Taylor gets the majority decision there. Congratulations to Josh Taylor.
Congratulations to Josh Taylor also. Right.
Seems like a good dude. And, yeah, man, thanks for doing this. Really appreciate it. Thanks to the guys at DAZN for letting us do this as well. Appreciate the opportunity, and thanks for being with us.